think were most impressed with the debut Mercury and Mosaic. Inferno was one of them. You know, it certainly talked about how it had strengthened their nuke, but yeah, their Inferno as well is just as deadly. So they're going to be able to start on that CT side as well, where we'll really be able to fixate in on Kaze as well, the different type of AWPing, if we should see him on that AWP, which I anticipate we will.
They might have actually funneled IHC's players backwards as A bomb site, where there's a defensive setup of 3 ready and waiting. Kaze has to be careful, courtesy of that initial damage. As it's going to be a full arch map around, he has to be the one to take first point of contact. And the up to 20 kills, although the T side is completely blind. Annihilation and Techno still come out on top with the full 3, not a single casualty on this A bomb site.
Yeah, you say they might have funneled them over, and it certainly, I think, pushed IHC to make this move over towards the B bomb site, or rather the A bomb site, but the B players didn't have that information to work off of, so unable to capitalize and bring over an extra player. The flashes were solid, coming out of the apartments and scaling up as well into the bomb site, so hard round for Rare Adam to anticipate. They wanted to go for that boost and hopefully thin the numbers, but given the opportunity, looking like IHC should be able to just escape with this pistol round, no problem. Just trying to hunt down some extra kills, make sure that there's no armor or kits available for the potential force buy round in the second. This might be a good way to reset the mental, get off to a nice opener here on Inferno, the map that we're maybe expecting this to be a knockout blow for Rare Adam.
Well, I'm also looking forward to seeing exactly how much impact we can sort of get out of Bartek over here, because, you know, he had obviously a very good Mirage in terms of numbers, capacity, but you did see sort of that ring rust at times, that fumbled footwork here and there that you pointed out a few times. So, sure, Mirage was a very good performance from him, surprisingly good, I would even go as far as saying, but that consistency might evade him. So I'm really hoping we can get him off to a good start early on, just get that confidence going, because clearly he's still got the decision-making process going down for him. It's just sometimes, you know, you're not always quite mechanically there.
Yeah, I mean, the shooting has been great as well. It's just, yeah, spatial awareness and really putting himself in the right spots, I think. Good boost, and actually getting themselves onto the blind pass, but Mosaic broke past it, and so Techno gets the double entry, no problems. B bomb site completely cracked open, and there's no way that Adam will be able to contest for this one. Only Deagles and the remaining players, and they're looking to save already, so very quick flurry of frags coming into this B bomb site.
Good to see them dodging out some of these anti-force buys as well. Obviously, we saw them fall into 2 of those in the first half, rather than the first map. Second half of the first map, to be specific.
Still surprised that Mosaic didn't stay on the plant pots, to be quite honest. Felt like a great spot to fall back to after you got your 1, but
maybe it just seemed too telegraphed.
I do think
generally the go-to plan.
Yeah, I do think the overall setup over there from Rare Adam did seem like they were a bit detached from one another. Like after they got that first kill, there wasn't a plan sort of laid out about what they would do afterwards. You know, one was falling back, the other one was fighting forward, so maybe that was the plan, just to create room for the FAMAS. Didn't work out, regardless of whether that was the plan or not. At least they were able to save a few of these Deagles, so there's still a chance. A slim one, but not something we can ever completely discredit.
I'm surprised at the lack of sort of stacks that we've seen generally. IHC did go for 1, if I remember correctly, in Mirage, but overall it's been a lot more focus on, hey, can we just sort of play out the round as we normally would and hope that we surprise people with our Deagles. Obviously, this is a round where you're expecting nearly nothing. JamYoung good for the first, and with another flashbang coming through, actually collects on the second and deals damage to Bartek. So this is suddenly getting a little bit more interesting. Full rotation back towards this B bomb side as a lot of utilities from the T's have been thrown, and the T's aren't actually jiggling back to A. They are committing to the B bomb side, and that's where they'll be found as well. A second kill, or their second player to find a kill, and Advent takes on Bartek.
This is dangerous. Those smokes aren't going to last forever either, so you need to get this plant down while they have some coverage. Annihilation has that bomb on back, but also doesn't want to feel like he has to be forced to push this one down. Deep smoking towards the graveyard or towards coffins at least, does get that bomb planted, and there are guns that should have been recoverable inside of that CT smoke, but that nade might have actually forced it further forward, so just pistols they have to fight for in the retake.
They smoked up Banana. They should be able to focus completely on the inside of the site. Now, the problem is still always going to be this crossfire and the aim point that comes with it. Score, good for the first two. Annihilation helps him out as well. IHC recover, but damn, that was scary.
Yeah, very dangerous round, and just off of the saved equipment that they brought into the second. So, I mean, good damage, that's for sure, and certainly a way in which you can capitalize on having that save call. You know, sometimes we see players go for that second round save, and it doesn't pan out, but very contested. Never an easy breath, I think, for IHC in the third. But now AWP will be out for Kaze, and a full rifle buy alongside it for the rest of the Rare Adam squad, so they have to have their guard raised here, IHC. They don't want to let Rare Adam back into this game so early. Sort of saying they could just play a little bit more standard based around the force buy. They just play the round out how they would normally, and get to see a little bit more of that. Very passive stead from Rare Adam. Not fighting for that banana control at all, really.
I'm slightly surprised that even now they don't look like they want to set up for any sort of aggression whatsoever. You're generally expecting, okay, maybe like a mid-round mid-retake, something like that. You want to contest arches. Deep smoke comes out to keep arches a little bit more honest. And look, there's only one flashbang for IHC, so this will be a difficult take. Mercury as well, I think he might have spotted out bLitz over there, but he's forced off because of the Molotov. It doesn't take a single tick of damage, and flashbang there to just keep him in a slightly safer position. He is still contesting, and with a flashbang ready for apartments, this was perfectly timed. This is going to be blinding them so damn much. JamYoung almost lining them up. Could have been a kill with this old M4, but now Techno's found Kaze, and it's all down to Mercury on the back of the bomb site, differentiated from them by a smoke. Seems to be no way for him to come back. Will wait for his teammates instead.
Felt like they had a good read on this round here, Rare Adam. Small things that might indicate a little bit of matching strategy, but moving in for this retake score. Techno still clawing away at the numbers, and Annihilation as well, having so many opportunities to strike. Techno was low, so Annihilation hits the shot through the boxes, and IHC keep this ball rolling 4-0. Small things that we pick up on there from Rare Adam is that, you know, as soon as that smoke gets bounced over in towards the arches, we see the little spam attempt, I think, there from Mercury, and he's only slightly off. It was very feasible that his burst could have actually connected on the player behind it. And then as well, that flash timing into the apartments. I'm pretty sure Rare Adam were familiar with what was coming ahead of them, but still couldn't stop it.
That's not what you want the Molotov to do.
What, land at your own feet?
Yeah. I mean, it is pretty cold these days. I won't lie to you. I've also heard Mongolia is freezing cold.
Yeah, a bit of a cold spike. Especially the European side, and I think it has sort of gusted its way over to as well.
Ooh. One of the problems that IHC will face eventually is that none of these anti-ecos/force buy rounds seem to be particularly clean. They had one in the beginning, but after that, less so. Obviously, still 4 players alive. You could potentially keep all of them as such, but will be difficult in the final four. At the very least, the AK is not recoverable. Good kill straight into the bomb site. JamYoung will end up going down, but that gives Mercury some space to actually trade his position back over towards mini pit. Now, rotations back to the bomb site will be necessary. Mosaic still around the corner, wants to fight it out, and he's done so beautifully. Second kill for him found. 5-7 and a smoke at the feet means that this could just be a catastrophe being set up. A flashbang forward, bLitz is through, will find Advent, expecting him on the other side of that.
Okay, a little bit scary for a moment there. AWP was retrieved, but Bartak moved to actually make sure this didn't get escaped too far away. Nice kill from Mercury, and that actually should secure a save call from him. This 1-on-2 would be very difficult to win, but I mean, 4,750 that you're saving coming into this next round, and you've got armor as well. Kaze will be licking his lips.
Excellent round from Rare Adam once again. Just like I said, IHC, they better keep winning. Because the second they stop, they will be reset hard.
Yeah, their money's being kept very modest because of the fact they keep losing so many players in these half-buys. They're not fully falling victim to them, and that's the important part.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a slightly more important part, yes.
Yeah, Mercury's just being gutted. I mean, the AWP was given over, the 5-7 as well. He has everything to Kaze. He serves Kaze, Lord and Savior. And maybe the Savior of Rare Adam's CT side, if he's able to find some sort of action with that AWP.
Ooh, good nade. That should be very good damage. Okay. Kaze is not too happy about this game so far. I can tell you that for sure. It's just been wall banged down out of oblivion. I think he didn't have head armor. Which I can't blame him for that really, but you can't be too happy about that.
I mean, he had money left over, so you're scrimping pennies really, but could have saved him.
If IHC had actually taken full drop banana control over there, they would have been devastated by the grenades. But instead, they will just be looking to reset and go a little bit later on into the round. It is still JamYoung who's kept on this A-bomb site with a lot of utility being shot forward. 45 seconds, and IHC has made their decision. They've got 2 smokes and a single Molotov, so they shouldn't be able to take away this player who's been boosted up. Mosaic has been set up for success, but will he actually find it? Will not be able to make it look clean, but at the very least gets the 1. Mercury and Advent are there to clean up the remainder. Keeps them distracted just long enough.
Perfect read. I mean, they knew as soon as that Kaze had been dealt with, they immediately started stacking towards this B bomb site. Even the A anchor was making his way over as well while that hit was coming out from IHC. So fantastic call from Rare Adam and recognizing where IHC were going to target next. Might be starting to enter a small bit of the panic station here for IHC, because you noted the fact that should they lose one of the rounds, especially if they didn't build some sort of buffer, they'd be back down on pistols, and, well, bLitz was the only one without the pistol, and he gets an entry rather quickly. Kaze is struggling to get on the board.
Oh my god, Advent position. He's even going to peek in from behind that grenade. bLitz was so isolated, despite being the only player with an AK. You'd expect to have a few more people just hugging him, waiting for him to die. Oh.
Okay.
Cool. That's I.
Wouldn't have been the regular way that I was expecting him to die. Got like a double, triple headshot through the wall. That's cool.
Oh! Alright.
He was jump spotting earlier, so Score was already looking for Advent to be doing more of the same. And that has given them a rifle, so I might give this one over to Score himself. In fact, it does. Doesn't have armor, so might actually limit some of his effectiveness, but has been sharp.
Look, they don't have an incendiary to clear out Mosaic at this point, so this should still be a round where he is able to just get it all together, especially with Mercury being around in the vicinity. He's got a grenade, a flashbang, pretty much all you could ask for. And with that flashbang going over, Score completely blinded out. Mosaic is more worried about him having potentially crossed over the other side. Mercury will just be covering, and that will be it. 4 kills for Mercury. They keep 3 players alive, will not be able to recover the AWP, but honestly, Kaze, you got 6 ADR and 6 deaths.
Yep. No, I certainly know the struggle like that. I mean, especially because he's wielding the gun that if you miss or if you don't get a kill, you're not getting much of anything. You can miss a few rifle shots, or you can spam it through a smoke, and that will boost your ADR. That's for sure. But he's been trying to take opening duels, not throwing deep HEs or anything of the sort. And he's just getting owned. He's getting completely decimated on a number of those peaks. The rest of the team, though, are stepping up, and again, these, I think the late round reads about where IHC are going to fulfill and full execute have been on the money, even in the rounds that they've lost. It's just IHC have had some very sharp shooting to scale into the bomb sites. Even if you know what's coming, it can still be hard to counteract it. I was having a discussion recently, can't remember with who, but I think Inferno is the only map in the pool that, since the grenade changes, has, I'd say, not improved. Those maps, I think we've seen the meta shift slightly, and it's been more enjoyable to watch.
Like the dropping grenades?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I just like,
I think every other map
just miss an update.
I think every other map improved slightly, but Inferno,
Oh, that could have been a big one, actually. If the smoke had bloomed a little bit later on, Bartek would have had a window to take down Mercury and then be covered off with the smoke. I think that's what the strat was intended for, but instead Mercury's just been alerted to Bartek's potential position, and he has spotted him out. Bartek, so dangerous this duel will be, but he still finds a kill, taking away all rotations. But look at this execute. They're making barbecue on the B bomb side. Mosey, however, doesn't want to be cooked alive, wants to fight his way out. Techno puts him down.
Not going to be this time over. Kaze's already moving to save with JamYoung. They were spread thin. The recent successes have come off of some solid reads, and actually holding on to the bomb sites as well based on those reads. Usually having a third player over on that B bomb site as well, and this time unable to get Mosea to link up with Mercury and Advent. Actually, no, it was Mercury over towards the archers that was completely siphoned off, but he actually had to hold that as well to make sure that the A players didn't get fully flanked out. Now they boost their money even further. Blast radius also increasing on this map, I think has certainly hurt it. Makes the A plays a little bit harder to sort of hold in the post plant, because you actually have to think about the bomb radius, and your economy can suffer because of that.
It was actually crazy, the place. You could just hide in the corner of the pit.
I think it was a good change. Yeah, I think it was very welcome as well. But yeah, the map has, I don't know, I think it's fallen out of people's tier list. I think it's descended a few ranks.
I don't know, man. I still think Inferno's elite, I'll be honest. I have disagreements with you about the grenade thing, but we can come back to that later on, because right now Rare Adam might be looking to actually contest mid a little bit earlier on. Look at how much more focus they put on having deep brackets presence, and that's the adjustment coming in. Instead of prioritizing B stacks early, they're prioritizing maybe being able to push down mid later on into the round.
Yeah, getting a bit of apartments presence is nice here for IHC. Especially with Rare Adam holding in towards the brackets. The apartments pressure can be a great way to pry bar in. Flash was there, but Mercury was ahead of the smoke over the arch side. I was really hoping that would segment that fight and make it a one-on-one, but with Bartek dealt with, now the B side will see a little bit of siege, and the nade is good, but Kaze swings to try and face it as well, so that will be the casualty that actually cracks them into the site.
The rotation is still there, though. They're very well placed. Advent finds 3 players turned around. And at that distance, the M4A1 is still the good old faithful.
Yeah, God, nobody went to look for him. And anyone that did found themselves into another series of headshots. That was very quickly played there from Advent. And I actually think the timing there for IHC's crack into B was fine. Like, it was actually solid, but they just weren't ready for Advent to make such a brazen play. Especially with the entrance to B smoke as well, bloomed kind of simultaneously alongside his swings, so just adding more chaos. I'd see now subjected to some pistols here on the attack.
Very early top banana retake utility coming out. They must be expecting more aggression off the back of IHC's poor buy.
I think also because Mosea was over on the A side for the start of this round, Advent just wanted to make sure he didn't get overwhelmed for whatever reason. Now Mosea is here with him, so you can play a little bit more cautious and a bit more within the bomb site like they have been doing so far.
IHC just going to go for a straight up pop into the bomb side. There is a lot of stopping power available, but Techno's managed to move past that Molotov. This deep smoke into CT will give them so much more space. These B players are being boxed in right now. Mosea had to come up big, but he's ending up going down instead, and Techno will try and find Advent, who's repositioned back to Mosea's old spot. But there are two corpses in the corner now instead of just the one, and Rare Adam are not in a good position to retake. There's a fresh smoke on their feet. They do not have incendiaries. How do they go into the bomb site?
I mean, they're leaving. They're not. They can't. That first smoke deep was really the straw that broke the camel's back. I don't know if I'd classify this really as a half buy, but certainly not a full buy from IHC that does end up finding success over on B, and it's the same strategy we saw previously, but this time without the extra reinforcements. So you saw just how stranded those B players were. You're right to say that they were boxed in because IHC players already set themselves up a perimeter where no rotates could come in, no even prospect of throwing a flash deep enough that these B players would have help. That was just not going to see play. So.
I mean, sorry to interrupt you, Michael. That's also where I just don't understand the sets of utility that they're throwing early on to pretend like they're retaking top banana while not pushing out main, while not bringing over players back for the rotate. That seems to be stall tactics when they're generally used. Even then, maybe a bit questionable. So, a bit strange, but bLitz has gone through straight from banana. They've found entries here consistently, generally been score at the helm, but bLitz is happy to take up his position instead.
Relatively fresh smoke and Molotov over towards top banana, and I think Rare Adam a little worried about what their next move should be. Again, Kaze's had a rough time of things to start off this game. 1 kill so far, and it's not like he's not had the AWP. This might be another time that they decide to attack this B bomb site, and if they do head that direction, I mean, Advent is located and will be the solo anchor. They've moved a third player to reinforce the A side of things. But I'd say are actually reinvestigating the brackets, maybe as well thinking a step ahead with how much they've been sort of favoring the B bomb site as of late. Play JamYoung a visit instead.
Oh wow. Annihilation has been immediately eliminated, but bLitz and Bartek trade out Mercury, unable. The Quiet Matches performance from games past. IHC are rocking up a storm right now.
Yeah, just great work. I mean, even went into the stronger bomb site, but didn't matter. The only kill that JamYoung got was one via that HE. And yeah, the struggle seemed to continue here for Rare Adam. AWP from Kaze will be saved. It's, I think, a bit difficult to say what they should be doing next. I think with the way that Rare Adam have been playing passively inside of the B bomb site, you know, I think one of the things I would like to see is probably taking a bit more control. You know, having a third player over towards B and you know, establishing deep territory so that IHC actually have to deploy utility themselves, so we have early indicators. But with that in mind, I think we've watched enough Rare Adam games where that's not something that they favor very frequently. I know that them playing with inside of the sites is actually something that they've been doing more and more as the years gone on. So
they've also been losing like every banana duel, right? So there's also that's gonna, you know, sort of make them hesitate a bit. I'm personally expecting maybe more of an apartments push, something like that, to come through. Just like I said, control is necessary, right? Like you need that. You can't always have Advent big brain out a fantastic call. But right now they're opting for the A bomb site.
Yeah, they're just hoping that Advent's going to be able to hold his own over at B, and that they won't overpressure him, especially in the early stages of this round. Pretty similar conditions to what happened last time over. Mosea started at bomb site, and now made his way.
None at all.
Smoke out, and 2 players inside of the bomb site, but Advent will be able to get here in time. I think that smoke over at the library as well is not going to last forever, but Advent gets spammed straight through it. So JamYoung actually undetected within the bomb site. Flames as well will keep and actually mask his vision, but Kaze actually at the back of it. Annihilation still trying to commit to the plant, but no, Kaze can't get enough. And the bomb will finally go down, but Mosea's in a 1-on-2. AK recovered, bomb just now fresh, and Annihilation does get the info and will hit the shot too. A 9-3 scoreline here for IHC, breaking into this T side. Rare Atom are completely flabbergasted. One of their stars just cannot get engaged.
Look, man, you've got to look at silver linings, right, Michael? The silver lining here is that Kaze will be okay, because clearly he's trying to beat himself up, but he's not been able to get any damage anywhere, so he's going to be fine, right?
Yes.
He's just having a terrible game so far, unfortunately.
And this is one of his maps, you know.
Yeah.
If you scroll through some of his greatest performances, Inferno's going to be there a fair amount.
Inferno overpasses is generally the big 2, for sure. Unfortunately, right now, he is really the only player on his team who is just absent.
Yeah, it's hitting hard. Do wonder what the circumstances are around it. Had a okay game on Mirage as well. So for this to be affecting them in a potential 2-0, they lead with the Mirage win 16-10. IHC are making pretty short work of them. And it's not as though there haven't been contentious rounds, but you think about the difference a couple of extra kills would have made in some of the earlier stages of this half. It is hard to argue that there wouldn't have been, that's maybe the Kaze influence that we're seeing be absent here for Adam.
Hell, man, maybe even a couple of duels over the banana. He died in banana maybe 3 times now whenever he tried to get aggressive there. So it's like any one of these things, if he's 4-9 instead of 1-9, that's still a terrible scoreline, but that might be enough to actually make this like a potentially a 6-8 circumstance instead of where they are right now.
It's especially hard on the AWP because it's a weapon that's not only very expensive, it's got its own designated role. So the fact that he's had the opportunity to have it in his hands, it might feel like we're putting him under the microscope a little bit, but it's an important role to fulfill.
And top 3 players in the world are all uppers. That's a separate conversation, but yes.
I mean, that's a correlative stat right there.
Should I start hopping? Will I become good too?
You can always dream, little Timmy. Either way, a little bit of a pause, but we'll see if this is enough to reset the focus here for Rare Atom, or whether IHC will run away with it and force us into Nuke, another map that will be very hard to discern a winner. Rare Atom definitely come out ahead, I think, on that map between these 2 squads in the past. Hell, against most of the Asian teams, in all fairness. I think your quote was maybe that they might be the best team at Nuke in Asia, which I don't think I would contest to have it.
And I just want to stack, to be honest. Right?
Well, when they're playing with these pistols as if they have rifles, yeah, a stack would be cool.
I think you could put it that way, or you could put it, they play with rifles like they're playing with pistols, which makes it sound much worse, so.
It does. I don't know that that's entirely accurate compared to the rest of the scene.
Well, it's technically true. Well, all right. I can see why they play with their rifles like this, because it seems like every single time they make this a little bit doable. No deagles this time, but Kaze has recovered that AK. Maybe he can actually get some action out of it. Good timing on the incendiary. to keep these players out of it. The full execute is going to be missing. They don't have enough utility for it on the T side. IHC 20 seconds on the clock, and rotations are coming in. Kaze's found one, but Techno and bLitz quickly trade away. Still, 2 players on the bottom side trying to fight it out. Are they going to be expecting the next one? Techno goes by unchecked, will still get the frag. JamYoung was relying on that kill on the bomb planter for him to have a chance. Now instead will be relegated to 1v3 where he doesn't get that first shot out.
Oh, I'm sure Mosaic must be kicking himself as well, because he got away with absolute murder there. I mean, went in full clearing, didn't see him. You know, was moving his screen crosshair very quickly. So for Mosaic to have gone by uncleared, unchecked, especially at low HP, yeah, he could have certainly dealt with that planter. Or maybe even got himself a double kill had he been quicker on the trigger, but he was scared for his life. You know, you don't always make the best decisions when you expect as well. You've seen this man look down at you. He just didn't register. Only 5 rounds is the limit here for Rare Adam coming out of this first half, but they have to actually win those rounds for them to hold that scoreline. IHC have been all over the shop between the B and the A bomb site. This time we see Rare Adam deeper control, and the flashes are good for Techno, but score was unaffected. So Jose is gone, and Advent actually can't do much more than just the one. Trade will come, and so Mercury makes his way over to B to try and stall an IHC pursuit.
Man, I've got to say, they made this change sometime like the 4th quarter of last year, but Score going over towards Banana instead and switched him out with Cabal. Man, he has been tearing it up right now. 8 and 9 might not be the most impressive scoreline, but it seems like every single one of those kills have been highly impactful on Banana. Okay.
All because bLitz wanted to perform this role instead.
It's mostly been Bartek, but yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was the thing, right? We had Cabal.
Cabal and Bartek, yes.
Of course.
Well, come on, Kaze, just get the kill, buddy.
Nah, man.
Right, you're gonna die.
He's gonna fall right into somebody else.
Oh, no!
No, he's
okay.
Good. He's good.
Okay.
We're clear.
Okay, right.
He might be 2 and 10, but this won't be the round that he gets 2 and 11. I mean, maybe I'm speaking too soon, but
this was like some random person just comes flying through, gets glitched in and kills him, yeah? No, not possible to close the distance that fast over. And I just want to peek down mid from Kaze, I'll be honest.
tried that before and bLitz took his head off.
Yeah, but he tried everything and failed. Listen, you can't let that be their metric when you're 2 and 10, right? Because then that he just shouldn't be upping.
Sometimes you try your best and you don't succeed.
Is it
Maybe
when you get what you want but not what you need?
Potentially, yeah. And I know I've been tired, but still can't sleep. So.
Perhaps try turning on some lights. They might guide you home.
You missed stuck in reverse, but that's
yeah,
fine.
I know, but you know, I couldn't like figure out how to. The countdown is stuck in reverse. There you go.
Time moves backwards on a countdown, but time continues to move forward for everything else. Not sure
So
where I'm
deep.
going with that. It sounded like I was trying to make some sort of deep dive philosophy point, but 3 to 11, I think the philosophy for Rare Adams had to change earlier into this CT half. Did want to see the banana presence. You were saying maybe something over towards the apartments, and they tried that last round and still did not succeed. See if they try and go for it again, and whether they live and die by that sword, or, well, based on the positions, seems like we have gone back to sitting inside of bomb sites, and this time Kaze will be the one to link up with Advent. Jose is over on the A bomb site instead.
Push forward. Is it time? Kaze. That retake utility is finally being put to actually retake. Now, he will involve up the angle, but not before he's given an opportunity he capitalizes upon. Still, a chance over here, but with this AWP now revealed on the B bomb side, the question is, where does IHC navigate towards? Do they try and target him, recognizing the slightly weak game he's had, or do they give him the respect he deserves?
Oh, fumbling with nades, but JamYoung has his back, so Mercury is able to get at least one as well. And now Smoke as well redeployed over towards B. They're trying to take space, and Kaze this time will not miss his shots. In fact, Annihilation could be a dead man walking. That entrance to B Smoke, while fresh, I think there's a new one that's a little deeper, so Kaze might actually get a bit of a reveal.
Okay. 4-11, Rare Adam do at the very least recover something, but we'll have to see whether they can recover the map after this short break.
Perhaps a surprising scoreline if you're just joining us. IHC are proving why they picked this map, and as they go into the CT side, are hoping to close it out and welcome Nuke into the foray. Question is, can they close it out?
Yeah, two maps in our openers that we weren't sure if they were going to go the way that they were picked. Fast play up towards middle, and around the smokes they were sitting right behind it and already finding success. IHC solid setup to open up this round, and as well they have Bartak pushing through the apartments, so they should have an inkling that the B site will be sieged instead.
Well,
Actually got space, and they're making a lot of noise.
Oh my god, Bartek should be able to just rip them apart, but he's missed out his shots. Bartek still collects on the head and drops the bomb in the process. Now, running out of ammo, will reface over Annihilation, given the information at the very least that the rest of the players should be coming in from behind him. The bomb will be planted, so at the very least, Ray Adam guaranteed that. But with the round score the way it is, that's hardly a guarantee worth very much. Bartek turns around. JamYoung and Kaze find the frags, and now it's all left to JamYoung playing from pit. It's his favorite position, but not one where he will find any success from.
Jeez, I mean, this round became way more complicated than it felt like it had to be. If Bartek had dropped that bomb a little bit quicker on the underpass play, then it almost felt like where Adam wouldn't have even been able to get a bomb plant down. Annihilation could have swung a little bit more aggressively from the arches as well. Kept better tabs on those mid players. But it all turns out well in the end, I suppose. IHC continuing their good graces, and winning that pistol round means that Rare Adam will be more inclined to get engaged earlier on. While in theory, first and second halves are the same. The fact that one team could be quickly approaching the end of the game with the score they need to hit in 16 is what can really change your decision making. Cannot afford slow starts when you have a bad first half.
If they were gonna boost up, why didn't they just... I don't know.
Pretty sure that's the faster way to do it.
Is it? I'm pretty sure it's not. Like, from the barrel, seems to be faster.
Oh, right, yeah, from the barrel. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. Well,
Could have also self-boosted, you know, be independent.
alright, listen. Let's not get too fancy with the footwork here.
Hey,
I
if
know
Robs
you
can
like
do
some
it.
Kaze. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna use that from now on. If Robs can do
Robs
it, why
can do
can't you?
Anyone should be. I mean, strive for excellence.
Not even top 5 in the world.
Robbed, actually.
It's pronounced Robs, but sure. Anyway, point is, 40 seconds left on the clock, and IHC has still maintained their boost. So if this ends up being a mid-side hit, this could be very dangerous. Single Molotov that's being wielded by Mercury. If that lands up on top of the balcony, it's going to be dangerous. Instead, it's at the bottom. Annihilation and Bartek both good for a kill apiece, but it is still going to be the last line of defense that falters. bLitz cannot give them another one to the tally.
Will be an attempt from Score to send it down bottom B, but nobody will be waiting for him. No one even curtsying from top middle. They are looking for containment here. See if they can get their hands on a couple of these rifles, as well do damage to Rare Adam as they receive their first round on this T side.
Okay.
Score's actually found Mercury at long range. I think he had enough time to even change from his MP9 to his pistol just to ensure that he got the accuracy at that distance.
Could be another kill over here.
Yeah, there is no escape. Kaze will die to the bomb, I think, at this kind of range. 9 HP.
Should. Yeah, okay. Can they recover anything? Is there something here? Oh, pick up the smoke? No. Okay. All right, it's a lot of damage, but it's really a whole lot of nothing in the end of the day, isn't it? 12 to 5. You're still, at the very least, getting something from this and making it slightly competitive, but should be difficult to make a comeback here.
I'm gonna say force buying here actually makes a lot of sense though, from IHC's perspective, because the best they're gonna come with is Galils, and if they decided to go for AKs, they would have very little utility to deal with all the nooks and crannies. So yeah, they're gonna try their hand at it. They've got enough rounds as buffer here on CT that they feel like they can take this gamble. A little bit of chip damage, but not ultimately doing too much. They may have as well have heard too many shots fired through that smoke towards Banana to know that this A site is only going to have 2 players maximum.
A flashbang for them to start entering in onto the bomb site. Annihilation's good for 2. JamYoung needs to find his kills, otherwise it's game over for them. Realizes Bartek's inside the smoke that CZ will be so fickle on the reloads. That's a 3-on-3, but these players are weak. His grenade goes ahead and softens them up even more so. And it's a full drop down. 2 players coming up from short. No one from apartments. And that's what JamYoung's worried about. Realizes that there's a wraparound coming in. bLitz is on the bomb side. bLitz is good for one. Techno. Last man left alive, but Rare Adam barely get that round together.
Yeah, an attempt taken there. Now into second round loss bonus. IHC should be saving their money for a future round. But still threatening there to Rare Adam. I mean, great attempt there from Annihilation to have found a couple of those kills. And I think Bartak may not have been fully aware as well that his shadow was showing through that smoke. One of the tricky things about Counter-Strike is understanding just how visible you are in smokes. Especially when the sun's involved.
I really wish that Mal would just let you see your own shadow.
I don't need them breaking my immersion. I don't need to see my own feet.
What? You can see your own shadow in your real life as well. What do you mean breaking your immersion?
Yeah, I mean... maybe it enhances your immersion. I don't know, man. But I'd...
You can't see your own feet? Michael, we might have some problems to talk about
This is
here.
a video. I don't need to see my feet in the video game. My hands are enough.
I would end up having like feet lineups, so that would be cool.
Yeah, wouldn't that be quite something? Might even get customizable shoes.
Ah, yes. The team gloves we always wanted, but shoes instead. That would be kind of fire. Would be kind of fire. Deep flashbangs coming out. Advent is all over the place, and as he finds all the money in the world, he will also find all the CTs. Now, with just score left behind, a Mac 10 recovered for him. It is likely just death waiting.
If you haven't been with us since the start, the only team that is in attendance here at the ESL Pro League Conference Season 17 for the Asia Division, the only team that did not win and qualify by merit of their successes is IHC.
You don't have to do them dirty like that, man. Like,
They have come in second every season, bar the first one where they placed third. We re-engaged the Asia Division in Season 40, I believe, for ESL Challenger League. And there used to be the only team that did not win and qualify by merit of their successes is IHC.
You don't have to do them dirty like that, man. Like,
They have come in second every season, bar the first one where they placed third. We re-engaged the Asia Division in Season 40, I believe, for ESL Challenger League. And there used to be direct invites to ESL Pro League once upon a time. Season 10, I think, was the last time we saw that. Then we started moving back online. So yeah, good for the Asia region to once again have representation. And not to mention the fact that this Pro League conference, 2 slots out of these 3 teams get to move into the main division. And we've seen a lot of changes to the Pro League this season. Now we've got the elimination brackets that have this round-robin group stage. And people have been talking about the round-robin group stage for quite some time. And to see the format change and an expansion as well into the amount of teams will give more opportunities as well for these smaller region representatives to show what they've got when in higher stakes matches. Mistakes cannot be made. Neither can they be in the conference, because lose here, you go to another bracket. There's double elimination, but you only have that one extra life.
INC trying to make sure that the bleeding stops here. Kaze will still find a kill regardless. Now, this is where the calls from IHC become very important. You can't lose out these 3-on-4 situations. Annihilation, where is he going to be playing in from? Just keeping an eye out on the mid brackets, just slow peeking forward with the full hard scope through. And they have successfully managed to split IHC in a 2-2 split on their CT side. So, should this start to be a hit towards the A-bomb side, it all comes down to whether or not Annihilation is able to hit that single shot. JamYoung's been left completely on the lurk. They are going for a fake execute out. A lot of utility being used up, but this spam is fantastic. And Advent will continue trying to go for a bit more. All on his own. just sent forward on the lurk, seeing whether he can connect with Score, and indeed he does. Score is down and out, and with that, Advent starts to push through the smoke and move to the back of the bomb site. Annihilation gone as well, and with 30 seconds left on the clock, JamYoung will connect with Bartek. It looked like he'd put his gun away for a second, but man, this guy does not miss.
Those timings were unbelievable as well. Annihilation was holding in for middle for so long, and then JamYoung found the perfect time to slip through that crack. Or, no, sorry, Kaze, I think, as well. It's a bit hard for Techno to have any sort of reasonable candor at this one. Bomb planted and retrieving that AWP to save instead. To have Advent be able to creep on by and just cause so much of a ruckus over at B, get his kill, then to have Kaze as well just have this impact was really, really well done. And you said that this is a round that you couldn't afford to have let slip through your fingers. Well, IHC have done exactly that, but the class timing, the class aim there from Rare Adam, it's hard to fault them too heavy for.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, maybe
you'll
just
start to sweat a little, though.
Yeah, I was just about to say, if anything, sure, maybe just look at the economy and start to wonder, is this really happening? IHC can't be feeling good about the situation they found themselves in, and especially not when they're being grenaded down in the meanwhile. Look at Kaze, he's even going all the way back to pick up an extra utility piece, right? Like, that's just... Now, you don't see that very often on Inferno. That's a long way back to spawn. That's why you don't give up your angle to go pick up a utility piece, Kaze.
I think the bomb was also a little further back in spawn. Might have been part of the reason that he felt like that was the time he had to go. Yeah, either way, it's just netted Annihilation a free kill. You dare peek into me so late?
You might be right about that bomb thing, but still.
Yeah. Pretty painful mistake.
Fortunately, Annihilation is not over here on the bomb side, but the flashbang isn't good enough for them. Mosea! That was a big save coming out from them there. Annihilation is also going to just scope forward. Advent has to make sure he doesn't try and attempt the cross. There are no pieces of utility available on this T side any longer. And IHC are going for this retake.
They have a buy coming up. Annihilation's AWP would be something that they want to save, that's for sure, but got their hands on a secondary one, and now it might actually be a harder sell. If Bartek can maybe sneak his way into an extra weapon, they'd be more than satisfied with how this has gone.
Oh, JamYoung. Mosea ends up falling, but Annihilation traded out. They're happy to take the op out of their hands, but guess what? bLitz has still picked up Kaze, so they're A-okay. Just end up trading out economy in the end.
It's actually one of the few spots where the run boost, I don't think, was spotted by the AWP. I think Annihilation was double zoomed, and JamYoung just went right over his crosshair. But yes, one AWP apiece for either side, and so IHC will see whether or not they can actually bring us to a finish line, or even close to it, because we're starting to see Rare Adam come more and more alive before IHC get too much distance.
God. 3 players dedicated over towards Banana from the CT side, but in a single shot actually able to be fired. Too much utility use early on. That's been the MO for Rare Adam, and even some great damage on the score in the meanwhile.
A rare chance to watch 2 players jump from left to right instead of right to left on that angle. And smokes over towards the archers, so they want to perform a quick wrap. A little hazardous glance there from Score, or bLitz rather, and actually he stands his ground. Wanted to make sure that they don't get wrapped entirely, but they're making a lot of space. Taking a lot of ground here on Rare Adam. Bartek as well, trapped within the smoke. Not going to find too much, but the bomb's dropped around the corner over at short. No one's going to move and retrieve it because Kaze was dealt with. No one else can pick up the pieces, though, here for IHC. So looking like it will be double digits secured here for Rare Adam. And they're on their heels.
That's such nice spotting coming out between Mosaic and Mercury, actually. They throw the flashbang to force off the moto angle initially. And then because the first player in is expecting the counter flashes to come out, Mercury ducks into the smoke and arches and waits there for the double swing out later on. After that for his flash. So Mosaic's playing full anti-flash. He's right wide in the open because he's completely relying on Mercury to be able to swing out from the smoke and have that extra element of surprise as well. That's dangerous, but that's really cool to see.
Yeah, no, actually, I think you're right on the money. This went over my head. I was a bit surprised why bLitz was fighting so vehemently over towards the arches when he had sort of missed out on the timing. But yeah, great maneuver to utilize utility to actually just stop your opponent having vision, even just the threat of a flash instead of actually hitting them with it. Is enough to detract from their information.
Mind games on mind games.
Not something you maybe see too often. Maybe you see AWPers pushed off of angles by the threat of a flash more so than riflers, but yeah, bLitz isn't having the same sort of commanding presence like he was on Mirage. Wasn't quite enough, either which way you put it, but when it came to his CT side, he was definitely more threatening than on T. Mac 10 in JamYoung's hands. And this is a very conscious decision. May not even anticipate that they're on full buys, but none of them have head armor aside from Techno. So this Mac 10 could just chew straight through. And land him a rifle as well.
With how slow Rare Adam have been going so far, I'm really hoping that this means a change of pace to come through from JamYoung. It's always entertaining to watch him be the one to sometimes switch it up and really show off that raw aim that he's got. He flashbang in, and there you go. There you have it. Score fully blinded out. They're able to drop out of the balcony, but only with one player. Not quite the player who's able to take long-range duel score. Even given time to reload, Bartek keeps it in their favor, and Score will do the same. IHC will make it so Rare Adam cannot proceed onto the bomb side. A smoke down actually helps out Mosaic, and he jumps up at the wrong time. Still, good for the duel, good for the kill, and retreats backward. Kaze left to try and cover off with his off, and it somehow ended up being in their advantage. How have they brought that one back?
I just can't believe that. It looked like everything was going to fall into place there for IHC. You get all the kills you need to. And then when it comes to Mosaic and Kaze, the fact that Mosaic was given these fights while all this chaos was happening, and then the complete mind game at the end as well to just set it up for Kaze to finish off, that is a ridiculous round to lose. And we've had many that IHC have let slip through their fingers over the course of 2 maps. You know, we had this 4-on-3 earlier, now another round as well where it's, what, 4-on-2? And there's half-buy rounds on Mirage. It's all stacking up.
Dude, that's also just a mind-breaking round, right? Like, you won that, basically. Now look at this, just quickly pushing out onto the B bomb site. This is the equalizer. It's 12-12.
Yep. 11-4 coming into this half. And we're tied. I thought they were good. I thought they were pretty relaxed. Felt like they came in with some pretty good mid-rounding overall. You know, there definitely were times where Advent was reading the setups and was calling his troops over in the right directions. I think that's going to happen when you're playing one of the best in-game leaders in the scene. But to have advantages plucked away from you like this, yeah, it hurts. It definitely will.
Oh, man, that will too. Don't have a buy in this one. Could have maybe tried justifying a save, or rather a force around the 2 rifles, but just the one, no way, no siree.
And Michael, the contrast with how Banana has been treated on either side has just been so stark. You know, you saw IHC running out on Banana time and time again. bLitz, it scored, they're contesting, they're finding the entry kills. Here, Rare Adam are using 2, sometimes 3 grenades, 2 Molotovs on Banana just to make sure IHC can't push, and saying, well, the second it goes past the 15-second mark in Banana and you guys haven't actually taken car control, we've won the round for us. And that's been true. Even when they try and speed things up now, they're winning out the round. Even when they're losing, they're winning out the round.
They just can't stop winning, no matter how hard they try.
It reminds me of a quote from an iconic movie that's being remade, White Men Can't Jump. I don't know if you've seen that one or not. Great movie. It's about basketball hustlers. Wesley Snipes has his quote, which is just, you know, it's hard work making you look this bad, man. And that's what they're doing right now.
Definitely one of the film I've missed out on. Well, the execution from Rare Adam, especially the setup entries, has been paramount. And we'll get to see more of that. Great little flash play to enable Mercury, and now as well they're trying to facilitate Hosea, and we saw just how devastating he can be. Mechanics were on point. JamYoung spam will be what breaks into B, and this is one that doesn't have a secondary component to it. They're caught in rotations, they're caught in lieu of the fact that Mercury found this pick so early on. Now he's just left on lurking duties, and he'll find more success. It just feels like the momentum has completely fallen out of the sails of IHC. There's a massive hole, and I don't think they have extra fabric to repair it.
I don't even think they're on a ship anymore. They're on like a tiny little raft and letting the tides have their way with them.
I see a door like at the end of the Titanic.
Yeah.
Is there enough space for 2?
They've lost their crown jewel, which was their lead.
What other obscure movie reference could you make?
I mean, that Titanic is hardly obscure. Neither is White Men Can't Jump. Okay, I'll have you know, that was iconic. You're gonna need a few icons themselves if they want to bring this back, though.
I was really getting excited to the prospect of nuke. But it may not happen even while playing around the corner of that smoke. Scores get fully blinded up for trying to go for that engagement. Spam's okay. Certainly peppered up these players, but boosting up around the smoke. And if Score decides to peek around it, interest of B smoke has faded, so they didn't feel comfortable sticking around.
Yeah, again, they just get full banana control without taking a duel, right? Like every single time.
I mean, that's what was happening with Rare Adam as well, but
they just lost the duels.
Yeah, I think they had like 2 or 3 rounds where they actually contested it, and then they just lost those duels. So. Oh, good throw from Score. Sent that smoke flying.
He's got an arm on him, that's for sure. Good timing on the utility from the CT side at the very least. Score's also got a grenade that can really set this up for success for Techno. Good damage as well being dealt from behind its Score. Now would be a great time to chuck out that nade, but JamYoung in the meanwhile is off to his antics. They are so obsessed with him potentially coming in from the other side. Annihilation on the AWP will have to land the shot, but now pulls out the flashbang and looks away at the worst possible timing. And timing is the name of the game for JamYoung. Bartek and bLitz, the ones left alive to try and deal with what is to come. JamYoung, though, no time left, and he will only be trying to get some damage out. Will get the kill. Bomb too far away, an AWP recovered, and he'll see whether he can actually save it into the next round. Techno, around the corner he goes, will drop the AWP but not recover it.
Yeah, losing out on the loss bonus is not great, obviously, but they've got some decent money here on Rare Adam, so it shouldn't matter too much. Dying after time is usually something we focus in on very heavily, but not when you've got so much in reserve. IHC, good stuff there from Bartek to hold on to that bomb site, because I thought as soon as JamYoung got that critical kill on Annihilation, they would just overwhelm the pit player, and that wasn't the case this time over. So we're still equal peggings. 13-13. This time they will contest Banana a little bit more heavily. They have 3 players in proximity, and Score Actually won't stick around. But he's resources so that he could enable 4 players to go over towards A, which would have been the right call to make. You can see how much presence is being applied over towards the brackets, and Mercury will once again try and take use of this space and make use of the smoke, but Annihilation, great timing on the spam.
Still, 4 players trying to rush in through short. bLitz could be really dangerous over here. And this range, the MP9, good for the first one. Advent trades it out. Bartek, however, still able to keep things honest. 2-on-3. Advantage lost out in, and then some. That smoke had a big old gap in it. JamYoung found that out the hard way. And Kaze, as difficult of a start as he had to this game, he's got to try and come through with a big clutch here. Every single play coming from the same angle, and against the AWP, that is your nightmare. Gets the first one. 2 players already on the bomb site. They've moved past the smoke, and with the smoke down, Kaze is going to be struggling. Deep Molotov to try and get something done, but buddy, there's a smoke there. He just shoots through it. Why the hell not? Score. 1-on-1. No kid. Kaze is going to try and getting him off it again. Scores lost out the round regardless of what happens. Kaze, the 1-on-3, he comes out on top and even gets scored to die after, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, we'll go up with the bomb as well. Remember, Kaze was 2-10. 2-10. And look at where he is now. And being able to pull off a 1 versus 3 like that could not have come at a better time. IHC were maybe sitting pretty on the laurels that they'd attained. All the kills that they got on that A site maneuver. Didn't think he'd be able to pull it off. And like you said, 3 players all came from the same spot. So Kaze wasn't in a great position to win that, but good that he remembered his lineups. Spam that bomb and make sure they couldn't get the defuse safely. IHC, this is the last real stand that they'll have. For Adam, they win this round, they'll be up to 15. IHC's money will be broken. Great overwhelming over of bLitz, and Bartak as well has been plucked out by the AWP of Kaze. It has to be Annihilation that stands his ground, and the nade will be enough to finish off the job, but Plant can come in.
Oh, that entry was crazy.
Clear short, clear arch just as quickly. They almost have, they save, yeah. I mean, with the way that their money is, if they didn't save these weapons, there would be little to nothing that they could do to stop where Adam contesting and just winning this map 16-13. It's, yeah, it's been a bit strange to watch how quickly this game has shifted.
Oh, JamYoung's also just been, you know, impeccable on his lurks. I know these past few rounds haven't necessarily been all down to him, but I mean, some of the timings he's gotten, some of the plays he's managed to pull off, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, I'd like to say that probably the anomaly here was that, you know, Kaze wasn't really having the great game. And then also Advent was pulling the same amount of, like, he was actually, I think, leading the Rare Adam squad at one point or another, especially on that CT side. So yeah, JamYoung, Mosea, Mercury, they've all had good games, all contributing at different moments of the rounds, and that's what we were talking about in the pregame, so much so. You know, these guys are consistent.
Well, can't say the same about IHC. They have been the opposite of consistent, I suppose. About as back and forth as can be between halves.
Mercury's going to try and go back with all shenanigans, finds Annihilation, takes him down. There is no backup available for him whatsoever. A deep flashbang from JamYoung to try and start getting onto the bomb side and clearing it out. Advent gets some good pathing, and that'll reveal bLitz's position, but Mosea's not there to cover him up until later on. Trades it out. It's still a 2-on-2, so IHC do have a chance, but can they utilize it?
Good recognition here from Mosea. Picking up on that flank and scoring. JamYoung actually gives up the game a little bit. Flash as well did nothing, so Techno has to clutch back 1-on-2. But did they actually know that this nade came out from the CTs in from middle? Now they'll turn their attention. Techno trying to get some ground, but look how they'll set up. They just have so much cover, and Techno has to somehow piece this apart. Won't get the chance. Mosea, an instant headshot, and this was the prime position for IHC to force us into a map 3. Instead, it is taken away by Rare Adam 2-0. But a very close game here on Inferno.
Oh, yeah. Look, all credit due to IHC for what they're able to accomplish, but unfortunately, that second half just missed way too many
things. I mean, it all goes back to, I think, for me personally, the 3-on-4 that they ended up losing out. Technically 3-on-5, but hey, that was a trade.